well. Hello, welcome to episode 6 of the Pixel Apocalypse. 6? 6? Episode 66 of the Pixel Apocalypse podcast. I am your host, Nathan Schmidt. With me, joining me, is a round table of motherfuckers. Pixel Apocalypse's entire crew came out to talk about the Avengers. It dropped Friday, finally, in North America. We were like the last motherfuckers to get it. It was ridiculous. But it's out. We've all seen it, except for one man. One co-host who is so piss poor, and it makes me so angry that I just don't know what to do with myself. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex von Sternberg.
You don't know what to do with yourself, or you don't know what to do with me?
I don't know what to do with myself.
Oh, okay. Because I just realized what I just said sounded kind of pervy, but
yeah,
anyway.
You know, I could be in the corner cutting myself, but you know,
I'm not sure what that meant.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just kind of out of my ass. I've been out of my ass all day. It's nothing I've said today has been of any import at all. But anyways, also joining us from Pixel Apocalypse, actually Pixel Apocalypse's official movie reviewer, Dan Selke.
Oh. Hi everybody, I'm Dan Selke. I wrote the review for Avengers on the site. I didn't know it was the official movie reviewer. I'm happy I am. And
didn't I tell you that? Didn't I send you a notice?
Maybe you did, and I was just drunk off my ass and missed it or something.
I think I sent out 2 notices that day. One to Alex, which was a pink slip, and the other to you, which was giving you a promotion.
Beautiful. Well, I'm glad to have been promoted. I think I'll do a really good job.
And then, of course, Mr. Feature himself, Mr. Let's get rid of all movie tie-ins ever, especially when they're games, because they are terrible, Joe Anello.
So wait, we're talking about the Avengers today? I really thought this was the NBA playoff podcast. This is not what we're doing?
Oh, really? That's what you thought this was?
Fuck.
Dude,
You're in the
gamers.
wrong place,
I've been
sir.
fucking looking at the wrong notes all day. Shit.
Dude, we are gaming enthusiasts. We don't even know what sports are.
Alright, I was all ready to talk about the Mavs first round exit, but I mean, the Avengers is good too. Whatever, we can talk about it.
Dude, I think the only organized sporting event I'm familiar with is Hutball in the Old Republic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know more about Hutball than I do basketball, football, baseball.
Any
I'm
ball.
so not a man.
Any ball. I'm pretty sure that doesn't count.
My balls.
Yeah. No, I think you're really familiar with those, I would imagine.
Yeah, because no discussion
Gamer.
on this fucking show can go any further than 5 minutes without a reference to my balls.
And it's usually you making the reference.
I know, it's immature and inappropriate, and I apologize to the audience.
I mean, I
sure
feel like
that...
I'm really familiar with your balls now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
talk
we're
about them a lot.
derailing. We're derailing. Let's just get into it.
I'm
So
gonna
the
have to
Avengers
jump out on
released...
this.
Yeah,
Probably tell
okay.
the audience.
Alex, since you actually haven't seen the movie, go ahead and mute yourself. Come back when we're talking about games. But
Will do.
so Avengers dropped in. Avengers actually released Friday at midnight. Who went to the midnight showing? Anybody?
This guy.
This guy? Two
Joe
thumbs?
wins.
This guy?
Joe totally
Joe.
wins this guy.
So what was the crowd like?
Really, really into it. There was a bunch of sold out shows already, so we saw like a 12:20 a.m. show instead of a midnight show. But everyone loved the Hulk. Every time he did anything, the audience went ballistic.
Absolutely. We're going to get into that in a moment. Just so the audience knows, this is going to be a spoiler-heavy show. If you haven't seen the Avengers, you should probably tune out now. Record it, watch it on Twitch TV later, download the MP3, do whatever, listen to it later after you see the movie, because we're going to be talking about serious plot points, characters, surprises, deaths, secret ending credits, all the good stuff. So get out now. You've been warned. I don't want to see a single fucking spoilers in the goddamn comments or on N4G or any of those other garbage fucking sites. Bastards. Read them. Whatever. Anyways.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, alright. So you were at the midnight showing and everybody was losing their shit at the Hulk, which actually I saw it later on that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And with the younger crowd, because I kind of hate dealing with crowds. It's like I don't like being in enclosed areas with lots of people. So, but yeah, everybody, it was pretty much the exact same response, but I'm sure on a smaller scale. Everybody loved the Hulk, man. I think he kind of stole the movie. Ruffalo did a really good job. People are calling him the best Hulk since Bill Bixby. Best Bruce Banner since Bill Bixby, I guess.
Yeah, he was outstanding.
Really?
No.
Just gonna let the dead air hang there?
I don't know obligations. Yeah, I liked him a lot. I mean, it might have just been the fact that he was the only person that we hadn't seen before, I guess, in a role. And I've heard that suggested that, we'd seen two other actors do it, and neither of them had quite been up to scratch. And to see someone brand new kind of bring their own thing to it, not be tired yet, was affecting. But yeah, I agree. I think it did run away with the show.
Well, I think what happened was it was really interesting because you couldn't overuse the Hulk, which is good. Like, as we saw in Ang Lee's Hulk, an entire movie of Hulk where you have to actually, develop some character or give him some depth doesn't always work. So in this case, where you have to balance him out against, 6 or 7 other superheroes, he'll get his time, he'll get to make his impact, and then he can go smash things for a while and not have to, get involved in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually found it pretty interesting because Whedon has commented on the Hulk a few times, and his basic idea of the Avengers is this is a group of people that have no business being on a team together. The clashing egos just it wouldn't mesh, but they're coming together for the greater good, basically, and that's
right.
the basic premise, the idea, and I kind of loved how. Banner and obviously Ruffalo playing him by extension had no ego. I mean, the most powerful guy on the team had pretty much nothing to say, just wanted to do his work and go about his business, save the world, and be left alone. And you put this guy who is the most powerful member of your team, your most powerful weapon, and he had absolutely no kind of preconceived notions or ego or, unlike Tony Stark, who clashed with everybody.
I also
which was fantastic.
Yeah. I also liked how he brought... I thought that he brought up something new in Tony Stark. Like, Tony Stark actually seemed to talk to him like an equal. Like, he kind of respected him, which I don't think we've really seen from him yet. I like their scenes together a lot when they were in the lab. Like, it was a different dynamic from him, I thought. More relaxed, more respectful.
Exactly. It was. I found that interesting as well, that Ruffalo... I mean, it was nice that Ruffalo and Downey Jr. actually had that chemistry on screen, too, but the fact that they actually played it where this is... Tony Stark's peer, this is somebody that he can relate to, that they're
which
both
almost
in the
never
science
happens.
field. Yeah, exactly. Usually Downey Jr. or Tony Stark is basically talking down to people because he's just wildly too smart for them. But yeah, it was great, and I really kind of enjoyed how they took the Black Widow and expanded on her role quite a bit. I felt that she actually did have something to say in these movies, where she was just eye candy in Iron Man 2, basically. I didn't really think that she needed to be there. But I don't know. In this go around, we kind of learned a little bit more of her backstory with, her working as a mercenary and for I don't know. Was she KGB? Did they ever say what would she do?
No, they never really addressed it.
If this movie had been made 20 years earlier, I'm sure she would have been KGB.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense now.
I'm not sure if that was in the actual comics she was KGB or something along those lines. I know she had some kind of mysterious dark past, but
yes.
Who doesn't these days?
I really feel like that was part of one of the things I didn't necessarily like is that I felt like they were starting an arc with her. They got her to a certain place, and I feel like it dropped off for me. Like that whole conversation with her and Hawkeye, where I've got red in my ledger. I thought that she was gonna go somewhere with like some duplicitous spy thing at the end and do something weird and crazy. But I'm like, no, she's not. I felt like it kind of dropped off. I felt like we didn't see her again until she had to, ride that alien jet thing to the top of the building.
I agree with you there.
Okay. And that's an interesting point too, especially because Hawkeye and Black Widow are the only two characters in the movie that don't have their own franchises. They're guest stars in the other franchises, along with Coulson, who we'll talk about in a little bit, and Nick Fury. So how do you Nick Fury? I mean, Samuel L. Jackson. You don't need a franchise. You just put him in a movie, and people are like, "Oh, that's Sam Jackson." Amazing. Where's the snakes? Where's the plane? Where's the purple jewels? But yeah, it's like he doesn't really need his own franchise. He can, he's cool in everything, and that's his character. He's just cool, But Black Widow and Hawkeye, it seems like in a team movie like this, they're gonna get left out a little bit. They're the lesser characters on the team. I was glad to see that Black Widow got some character development, but Hawkeye got none.
Yeah, he was kind of the dud here. Go back to what you said, Joe, about Black Widow kind of having, like she's talked about the Red Ledger thing and never really went anywhere. I agreed. I think that they're setting, because I've heard that there is going to be a movie about her in production pretty soon. So I think
they're giving her own movie?
Yeah. That's what I heard. Anyway.
I would either be surprised if they got her own movie or if she showed up in Captain America 2. That would make a lot of sense to me at this point, if she would show up in that movie.
I wouldn't mind seeing her in her own movie, because I thought it was pretty intriguing when she was talking about the stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to know more about that, and it's just unfortunate that I couldn't find out. I also really like the moment where Bruce Banner says that he tried to kill himself, and then he couldn't because of the Hulk, and I'm like, I would have loved to know more about that, like how low he got. And I think just in a movie like this, where there's so much going on, they can't possibly explore everything, and so they're setting themselves up to do stuff in the future. And there were a lot of moments like that, I thought.
Yeah, they do a lot of setup in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there is any doubt we're going to see. I mean, this is a franchise to itself now. It's like Marvel has done. I think, Dan, you pointed to this in your review. You said, not only have they created the franchises around these characters, now they've created the team franchise, and they've got like just a juggernaut, mega corporation of movies now.
Yeah, they can ride
we're going to be seeing for the next 10 years.
Yeah, they can ride this as absolutely long as they want to. There's really no stopping them. It's kind of terrifying, to be honest with you.
It only hinges as far as the stars are good. Like, you saw what happened with Spider-Man. At a certain point, Sony needed to back down and bring other characters in or bring other actors in. It's going to be difficult to do that with a couple of these guys, with, like, Robert Downey Jr. At some point, if he doesn't want to do them anymore, there goes Iron Man. And then maybe there go your Avengers movies. It doesn't hinge on much, but bringing them back, as long as they keep making $1 bazillion, I mean, I think they'll be fine.
Oh, don't forget, we've got Don Cheadle waiting in the wings.
That's right.
Bring in War Machine.
He's coming back.
Right.
Bring it back.
I hope he's not in Iron Man 3.
I would think he is.
He's got to cut that part. He was terrible in that movie. I can't remember the name. Who was the guy that played Rhodey first?
Terrence Howard.
Okay.
Terrence Howard. Thank you very much. Yeah, he was 10 times better in that role.
But you know that story about why he didn't come back, right?
Was it money?
Yeah, he wanted more money than Robert Downey Jr.
No.
What
really?
the hell?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what happened.
I mean, I can't slight him. I mean, that is kind of a dick move to ask for more money than the star of the show. But at the same time, Marvel is notoriously cheap.
Sure.
notoriously cheap with their actors. I mean, to a ridiculous amount. I think that's why